Today, I'm going to talk about the right way and the wrong way to redact a document in Acrobat. I'm going to open up on my laptop here a motion. It's a pretty famous motion, a pretty famous example of the right way and the wrong way to do it. But since it's been a couple of years since that happened, I thought I'd revisit the issue so that way people don't forget. This has come up in clients that we've worked with relatively recently as well, and that also had me thinking about it. So this was a motion that was brought up during the prosecution of our former governor in Illinois, Rod Blagojevich. And for example, on paragraph 9, there were some stuff that was intended to be redacted. And the attorneys in this case, or the technicians that they relied upon, had decided that they could just put black rectangles. You can draw shapes, lines, circles, things like that in Acrobat. And they decided to draw in black rectangles over the text that they wanted to redact. The problem with that method is that Acrobat keeps things in layers. So think of it like in Photoshop or a very complicated slide in PowerPoint. Things can be on top of things without obliterating what's underneath. And so I can go to this paragraph 9, drag and select the entire paragraph, hit Control C, and then open up a Word document and paste in all the text that was underneath the black marks. And so this comes up a couple of other ways as well when people intend to redact documents either because of trade secret protection, work product, or client confidentiality. They'll still exchange materials, and then the other side suddenly has information that is supposed to be secret but was underneath the redacted information. The ethics of that is not something that I'll go into here, but it's definitely a problem and something that does come up. Because once that comes out of the bag, whatever that intended to be protected information is, when it gets out, it's out no matter how much constructive pretend fiction we try to put back into it. And so here's the right way to do something like that. The right way to do that is to come to your tools in Adobe Acrobat. If you're using the DC version, you'll come to the tools ribbon here. If you're using older versions of Acrobat Pro, you'll come up to the upper right-hand corner up here. That's where your tools are. And if you're not sure, what I always recommend is just type in what you want to do. So you can type in redact, because that's what I want to do, and it'll show me the tool that I need. Otherwise, if I don't want to do it that way, here's how I can find it. I can scroll down past these couple of different categories. And in the Protect and Standardize section, there's Redact. I'll hit that button. And that gives me a set of tools along the top here under my main set of tools and right above the document that I can start making the redactions. So let's say paragraph 8 is something that needs to be completely redacted. I can start by clicking Mark for Redaction, Text and Images. And what I'm going to want to do is OCR this material first. Or it should be OCR'd anyway. But then once I do select text and images, this kind of warning sign comes up. You can make it so it doesn't pop up again by clicking that box, but it's telling you that there's a two-step process. You have to do both steps in order for the redaction to occur. The first step is you're going to mark stuff up for redactions, and the second step is then you're going to actually burn in those redactions and make them permanent so no one can peek underneath. So let's hit OK and keep going. So let's say this is paragraph 8 that I want to work with. I'm going to select that content, and all of a sudden now, if I scroll over it, it disappears, and when I go away from it, I can see a red outline over it. And what that's telling me is this is areas that I am about to redact, and it gives me a preview by mousing over it over what that redaction would look like. And you can kind of change those things by hitting this Properties button. If you want to make it really clear that something's been redacted, I would recommend changing the redact area fill color to black. And or if you leave it as white, use overlay text, and you can write something in here like work product, right? So I can hit that, hit OK. So now when it comes over, any new ones that I apply, it'll say work product, and that'll be the way that I know that something's being redacted and for what reason. So it just depends on how you want to be able to redact it. A lot of times I get asked to make redactions on materials for the purpose of displaying the exhibit then to a jury. And so maybe there is personally identifying information that needs to be redacted, like social security information or insurance information, things like that, Medicaid data. So that might need to be redacted, but you don't really want to draw attention to it. Maybe there's a certain element in a patient's history that needs to be redacted out. You don't want to, again, draw attention to that. So then I would just use white, because then it's just white space on a white piece of paper. Up here, I have this one that says work product. I want to get rid of it. If I want to get rid of it before I've burned it in at this phase, I can right click it and hit delete. And that doesn't delete the underlying text, it just deletes my redaction marks. And so I have this one here, number 8, that I've redacted with the white box, which is what I like. And then I can go through the entire document and go through and make all my redactions at once. And then once I'm done, I can now hit apply. So now I'm hitting that apply button for that second step. And it gives me a warning, you're about to permanently do something. You're gonna obliterate the text that's underneath there. No one's gonna be able to see it. Are you sure? And yes, you are. So then I've done that. Now it asks me if I want to go through and scrub through for extra metadata and other kind of hidden content in there. Newer versions of Acrobat do this, older versions don't. Older versions, once you hit like the I'm sure button, then you're done. So let's hit no just for now to get through it. And now I have paragraph 8 has been obliterated with the white redaction box that I chose. You can leave it as a black redaction box if you want. But now if I come through and try to select text, I can still select the text of paragraph 7. I can still select all the text of paragraph 9, even the stuff that was attempted to be redacted, but I can't select anything around paragraph 8. So that has been completely redacted, and that's the right way that you should be doing your redactions. If you have any questions about redaction boxes or this process and how to be sure that you've redacted something correctly, feel free to leave it for me in the comments. I'd love to talk to you guys down there. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.